How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be seeing, is it possible to complete a pacifist run in Super Mario Bros on the NES? Now, what a pacifist run is basically where you don't hurt any enemies during the whole playthrough of the game. So, will it be possible? Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and let's find out. Okay, so 1-1 is the introduction level. It's got a couple of enemies to kind of introduce people into the game, but it's nothing that we can't easily dodge by just running over question mark blocks and brick blocks. And we can just basically avoid them all, no problem at all. 1-2, we have to be a bit more patient with waiting for enemies to kind of come past us before we try and dodge them, because else we might actually hit them when we're trying to jump through like gaps of blocks, seeing as they're all cramped together, like they're in groups of 3 and stuff. But apart from that, we can easily get to the warp zone, no worries at all as long as we're patient. 4-1, this level is also quite easy because we can't really kill the stuff that Lakitu's throwing at us. But at the same time, we do have to be careful with a couple of Goombas. 4-2, now there's this one section at the beginning with 3 Goombas coming towards you, and if you do it wrong, you'll get locked in, you can't really avoid them. Now the easiest method that I know that you can avoid them is just breaking a gap in the top ceiling with Mega Mario, Big Mario, whatever you would call them, and you can easily just jump over them if you time it right, getting into the warp zone, and obviously getting the Vine, hitting the Kaizo, to get to the warp zone, and then you can easily just run to the end to get to World 8, and then once you get to World 8, this is where it starts to ramp up in difficulty greatly. There's so many more enemies, so many more Goombas, Koopa Troopers, Paratroopers around. You have to be careful avoiding, because one bad move and you'll accidentally kill one of them, and we don't want to be doing that. But again, it's not as bad compared to 8-2. We've got to avoid things Lakitu's throwing at us. There's loads of Paratroopers, there's bullet bills that we all have to avoid, and it is a little bit difficult, but at the same time, it's something that we can't handle. We can easily get through it all. To get to the end, avoiding these Goombas on the little brick stairs, avoiding the bullet bills at the end, and being sure not to accidentally hit the Paratrooper on the last staircase. But after that, we can easily just get to the flagpole to get into 8-3. 8-3 isn't too difficult because our main worry is just avoiding the Hammer Bros, and as long as we time our jumps correctly and we know the patterns of the Hammer Bros depending on what route we take, we can easily just avoid them and not have to damage them at all, getting to the final staircase to get into the final level, 8-4 or 8-Fortress, whichever you want to call it. Now there's a couple of enemies to avoid, but as long as you know the path you're meant to take to get to the end of the level, these aren't that bad. There's a couple of Paratroopers to avoid, a couple of Goombas, especially the Paratroopers at the pipe, where you have to hit this Kaizo block. But apart from that, there isn't really anything we have to worry about hitting. Getting into the underwater section, again, there's nothing really we can kill there. Just to avoid the last Hammer Bro and defeating Bowser, who we are allowed to kill because he is trying to kidnap an innocent princess, an innocent woman. So like, at the end of the day, we're being pacifists by taking him out, I guess. But with that, is it possible? Yes it is. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And leave a comment on what you would like me to do in the next video. And with that out of the way, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.